Okay guys, today I'm testing the RX 7700 XD against the newer RX 9060 XD 16GB in Mortal Shell 2. I'm checking 1080p and 1440p on high settings to see how both cards handle this Unreal Engine 5 game. I started with 1080p high using FSR native to get a clean baseline during combat. Both cards are performing well here, with the 9060 XD holding a small lead. At 1080p, both GPUs have enough raw power for a very solid experience. At 1080p high with native rendering, both graphics cards deliver smooth performance, with the RX 9060 XD slightly ahead, but both feeling very playable in combat. Switching to FSR 4 quality gives both GPUs a useful frame rate boost without pushing. Image quality too far. The 9060 XD maintains its edge, but the 7700 XD stays close. For 1080p, quality mode gives you smoother gameplay without major visual compromises. Enabling FSR 4 quality gives a noticeable increase in frame rate for both cards, keeping the image clean while making the gameplay significantly smoother. Switching to FSR 4 balanced gives both GPUs a noticeable performance boost. The image gets slightly softer, but the extra frames make this mode useful when performance is the priority. FSR 4 balanced pushes the frame rate even higher on both graphics cards, making the combat feel very fluid and responsive, even though the image becomes a bit softer. Moving to 1440p high native puts more pressure on both GPUs, especially during heavier combat. The RX 9060 XD pulls ahead here, maintaining smoother frame rates than the RX 7700 XD. At 1440p high with native rendering, both cards are working much harder, and the RX 9060 XD handles this resolution better thanks to its larger VRAM buffer. Bringing FSR 4 quality into 1440p gives both GPUs a solid performance boost. The 9060 XD stays ahead, while quality mode keeps the image clean during heavier fights. Using FSR 4 quality at 1440p makes the experience much smoother on both cards, keeping you close to 60 FPS in heavy fights while maintaining a clean image. Finally, FSR4 balanced at 1440p pushes the frame rate higher during intense boss encounters. The image is slightly softer than quality, but the extra performance makes combat feel more responsive. FSR4 balanced at 1440p gives the highest frame rates in this test, making the combat feel very responsive even though the image is softer than quality mode. Looking across the full test, performance is very competitive at 1080p, but the RX 9060 XT 16GB pulls ahead at 1440p thanks to its updated architecture and higher VRAM capacity. At 1080p, the two cards are very close in performance, but at 1440p, the RX 9060 XT clearly takes the lead over the 7700 XT. I'd choose the RX 9060 XT 16GB if you're building a new PC for 1440p gaming. However, if you already own an RX 7700 XT, it still holds up very well at 1080p and 1440p with FSR enabled. That's it for this Mortal Shell 2 comparison. If you enjoyed the test, drop a like and let me know in the comments which GPUs I should test next.
I'll be done soon. You go on.